Hello. Good evening, everybody, in what Dhammakaya, London. My name's Martin, or currently I'm Monk Martin. And in Thai, if you want to address me informally, excuse me, just call me Lumpy Martin. That's how we address. Lumpy means brother in Thai, so it's a respectful but friendly way to address monks. I was ordained as a Buddhist monk only just under 2 weeks ago in a program we have in Denmark in the Dhammakaya temples. So I'm not quite like your professional monks like Lumpy Nicholas, etc., who usually teach here. Anyway, I'm going to go through a meditation with you, then give you a bit of a rundown about my time in Denmark. So, firstly, who's a regular here and who's meditated? Who knows Dhammakaya? Okay, most of you. Who's new to? Anyone new to meditation or Dhammakaya meditation? Oh, that's good. Can you see this blue figure on the screen in front of you? Are you all familiar with it? Does anyone not know the center of the body? You're all familiar. Okay, that's good. Right, so that's good. I'll lead you through a meditation. So firstly, everyone, just sit comfortably. You're all in chairs, so just make sure your feet are flat on the ground, if possible. And the way we hold our hands in the Dhammakaya is the right on top of the left, and your right index finger touching your left thumb. Okay. Okay, so everyone please close your eyes now, and we'll start the meditation for about 45 minutes. Okay, the most important thing is when you close your eyes, just close them very softly, as though you're falling asleep. Don't overstrain your eyes and try and cram them shut, or that will give rise to a lot of tension. So just close them really gently, as though you're going to fall asleep. Now take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Another deep breath in, and a deep breath out. One more deep breath in, and a deep breath out. And now, just begin to relax all the muscles around your eyes and in your forehead. Relax all the muscles in your face, around your jaw, where we tend to hold a lot of tension. All the muscles in your head and your face. And go down and relax all the muscles in your neck. Then in your shoulders, just let your shoulders drop naturally. Let your wrists and your palms just support the weight of your shoulders in your lap. Then let your arms and your elbows and your lower arms and your hands relax. Then just go down your torso, so your back and your torso and your stomach are relaxed. Just try and sit upright. Just rest gently on the back of the chair. Try not to fall back too much, or you might get too sleepy. And just relax your buttocks and your legs and your knees, your lower legs, your ankles and your feet. Then just quickly scan over, just make sure there's no tension anywhere in your body. It's important that first of all we will relax our body before we move on to relaxing our mind for meditation. Now just imagine you're sitting alone somewhere in space, nobody around you. Just imagine your whole body's just filled with small particles of happiness and joy, like little golden snowflakes just filling your body. Just relax your mind. Just forget about the things you think about, like family and friends and work and studies, or planning, or things you did in the past. Just let all that drop. Your only job now is just to let your mind become relaxed and go to the center and meditate. So you don't have to do anything else. You just need to be at the center. Now just imagine your body is empty, as though you're just an empty cylinder made of crystal or a sphere. Imagine you don't have any organs or tissues or bones anymore. You're just emptiness. And right at the center of that emptiness, which corresponds to the seventh base of the mind, which is roughly 2 finger widths above the navel, as in the diagram on the screen. Just bring your attention to that point in your body. Just let your mind sit there at that point in the center of the body and be at ease. And just observe whatever arises. So some of you may observe visual images that just spontaneously arise at the center, and others of you may just feel what's there. You might feel the warmth of the inside of your body there, or other sensations. So whatever you feel, it comes to you most easily. Just sit with that. Just sit there at the center and see what happens. Now, if you're having trouble with thoughts arising, which they do for a lot of us, we can, at this point, try visualizing a bright object at the center. So if you're familiar with the crystal ball and you've used it before, you can just imagine a crystal ball roughly a couple of centimeters across, just floating in the center of your body. Or you can use, if you've used something in the past you're more familiar with, like a star or a sun or a moon, that's perfectly good to use that. So just if you're having trouble sitting at the center, just try visualizing. But try and be careful not to use your eyes to do it. If you notice any strain in your eyes, you may be trying to use your sense of vision, your optical apparatus rather than your mind. So it should just be your mind that sees this bright crystal object, or the bright object at the center of your body. So just carry on either just sitting there at the center or trying to visualize a bright object. And if you're just sitting there, just see it may well change whatever you observe, so that's fine, just let it be. Now, some of us quite often experience thoughts in the form of a kind of a verbal monologue, which we sort of nag ourselves with, as it were. So if you have a tendency to have thoughts which are sort of in spoken form, quietly, that are coming from your own mind, which I'm sure you'll know what I mean, we use a mantra to try and block this sort of endless verbal flow that's going on in our mind. And as you're all experienced meditators, I think you'll know the mantra we use in this tradition. It's Sama Arahang. Samma Arahang. Sama Arahang. So if you're having trouble with thoughts, you can just try blocking them out. So just repeat Sama Arahang to yourself silently, as though it's coming from the center of your body. So just repeat it over and over, and it may help you to quieten down your sort of verbal train of thoughts. So Sama Arahang, Sama Arahang, Sama Arahang, Sama Arahang. Just continue to say the mantra from your center if you need to block thoughts. And if the mantra changes or dies away, that's fine. It's done its use, and then just return to the center. And it's the same with visualizing. If you're able to stay at the center and just observe, that's fine. But if you need to bring in an object to block thoughts or bring you back to the center, that's fine too. Just use the visualization or the mantra as a way of quieting your mind and bringing it to the center. So we'll just continue now for a few moments in silence. if your mind has wandered off into thoughts, just gently bring it back to the centre of the body again. And if you wish, just start visualizing a bright object again at the centre of the body, or silently repeating Sama Arahang emanating from the centre of the body. Don't worry about thoughts coming in and taking you away. That's entirely natural for everybody. So when you've noticed your thoughts coming in, just come back to the centre of the body. Keep on doing that. So let's meditate in silence for a few more moments. When thoughts arise, each time just come back to being at the centre of the body, or visualising the bright object at the centre, or silently repeating the mantra Sama Arahang from the centre. Just keep on coming back to the centre if thoughts have taken you away. And just be on your guard for becoming sleepy, which might mean you're getting too relaxed, maybe, if that's happening to you. You could just try partially opening your eyes and just staring at the floor in front of you for a while. And conversely, if you're feeling some tension and having quite lots of thoughts, just check that your body's not gone tense in certain areas, particularly your eyelids or your shoulders or maybe your abdomen, where you typically may hold tension in your body. So you can, if you're feeling rather tense, just quickly make sure your body's not tensed up. And then just carry on meditating at the centre. So let's now begin the process of spreading the good energy from our meditation, known as the practice of spreading loving kindness, or metta. So just allow the feeling in the center just to expand, to encompass your whole body, and make the wish, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be free from suffering. Just let that sphere of good energy expand. Just now expand it to the whole temple and everyone in the temple now. May everyone in the temple be well. May they be happy. May they be free from suffering. Now continue to spread the good feeling from the center of your body even wider. So you may want to imagine a large sphere expanding, or you may want to do kind of Google Maps image viewed from above. Whatever works for you is fine. So just spread the good feeling over Nap Hill and the whole of Surrey, everywhere, the whole of the region. Wish all beings to be well and happy and free from suffering. Keep on spreading that field of metta wider and wider to encompass the whole country, the whole of Europe, all the continents in the world. And just keep on spreading your metta out into space way beyond the earth. There's no limit to how far we can spread our loving kindness. So spread it to encompass the whole universe, all beings from the past, all beings in the present, all beings in the future, all beings who are suffering, all beings who are happy. May they all be well. May they all be happy. May they all be free from suffering. Sapubhuta nupavena, sapadhamma nupavena, sapasanga nupavena, sata soti bhavantu te. So you may now gently and slowly bring the meditation to a close and open your eyes again. Do it nice and slowly. Okay. Welcome back to Planet Nap Hill, everybody. I've enjoyed meditating with you this evening. So can I have just a quick show of hands? Who visualized, who was able to see something at the center of the body? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish. And who could feel something at the center of the body? Yeah. And did some of you use a visualization object, such as a crystal ball? Yep. Okay. What about the mantra? Yeah. Did you find the mantra helpful for blatting thoughts away, for want of a better term? Yeah. Yep. Okay. Do any of you have any questions about the meditation technique? I think you're all quite experienced in it. Would anyone like to share their experience tonight? Did anyone have a nice meditation they'd like to share with us all? Anyone? You've got a smile on your face. Would you like to share with us? No? Anyone else? Yes, please.
I had a very busy day, so it's difficult to kind of calm my mind at the moment.
Yes.
As long as I can keep it calm, that's it. I managed to visualize kind of like probably like a sun unplugging or something like that. So that's just right, there. No, I think most of we got into it at the start of the year, something there as well.
Oh, very good. Yeah, yeah, excellent. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, well, I'll just I'll move. As I mentioned, yeah, I'm a monk. You can see that, and I've only been a monk for a couple of weeks. What happens is the Dhammakaya temples in Europe have a program most years. We didn't have it because of COVID for a couple of years, but eligible males like me can go and ordain as monks. Most of us, yeah, just for a temporary period. So I'll be going back to being a lay person on Sunday this week. So I will have been a monk for about a fortnight. So I don't really have the experience of Lumpy Nicholas and Lumpy Ronapop and Lumpy Pissit, the other teachers. But what I thought I would do is, with this slideshow, just give you an idea of what it's like to go through the ordination process in Denmark. So here we go. You won't need this slide. I was going to tell you about the crystal ball, but since you're all experts, you didn't really need it, did you? Or Sam Arahang. So let's just move on to Denmark now. So that's I took that from the plane actually on the way home. Can you see like a dark bit in the mirror in the middle of the image? I know it's not very bright, but that's where the centre is in Denmark actually. There's a kind of nice chunk of forest about 1 mile wide and 3 miles long, just where the centre is. So it's in a very natural setting, especially compared to the UK, where we're quite, urbanised, aren't we? Anyway, this is the centre. It's about 1 hour away from Copenhagen, so just in the country, as you could see. So I think that was on the first day, before I'd really settled in. This is 10 of us were on the programme this year, and we all stay in these tents. The reason is you just want somewhere kind of basic to sleep, not too fancy, because we don't want to be encouraged to just sort of lounge around. So you just go in there to get your sleep enough without it being too comfortable and luxurious. So these are the 10 of us. So the first week of the programme lasts about a week if you want to do the full thing. So in the first week, the 10 of us all wear white, and we do meditation, and we have Dharma talks, and we have quite a strict life. We get up at 5:30 in the morning and meditate, and then we have breakfast about 7 a.m. and the staff come and serve us breakfast in the temple, and we give a blessing to them. Then we clean up, then we have a bit of free time, then we meditate again. Then lunch is quite early, around 11:30, so we don't have another main meal for the rest of the day. Then there'll be another meditation mid-afternoon and a Dharma talk. Then free time, then there'll be another meditation and a Dharma talk around 7 to 9 or so. Then go to bed about 10. So that's the regime. Lots of meditation. You find your mind sort of slowly comes from the outside world and all its problems, and comes more and more towards your centre. So we do exactly the same meditation you've been doing today, the Dhammakaya meditation, visualising at the centre. So that was us with hair. So that was probably about Wednesday the first week. So you have to get rid of your attachments, and your hair is one of them. So it's part of the contract that you have to have your hair shaved. So here we go. It's on the left of the picture. There's some local people all lined up. And we're all lined up on the right, as you can see. So we're going to have our hair cut. These people have probably come in from Copenhagen and elsewhere for this event. So the monks just shave all our hair off and our eyebrows as well. So you kind of feel there's no going back when you get to that point. You've got to carry on. And the garden of the place has these quite a lot of trees. It's just basically on the edge of the forest, so sometimes we meditate outside. The whole point of the first week is to train you up for the big ceremony that happens on the Sunday, the ordination, where you get ordained in front of some quite high monks, and lots of lay people, mainly from the Thai community, come in from all over Denmark and Europe to participate in the ceremony. And there's some, I've done it twice before, I should add, in Belgium a couple of years, a few times previously, so it's not too bad when you know. But the first time you do it, it's incredibly difficult, because you have to learn some chanting in an ancient Indian language called Pali, if you've heard of that. So I think it's pretty fair to say most people who do it the first time really have a lot of struggles with it, because they go in and they haven't learnt the chanting well enough, and then the realization hits them. They've got to know this stuff, perfectly well, and it's got to be recited in front of a monk on the big day, on the Sunday. So, I was okay, but one or two of these people may be having minor nervous breakdowns. So that's why we do lots of meditation, to try and keep us calm. So this will be on the big day, on the Sunday. So we're looking at the back of the hall. We'll be wearing white, and we're going to file down that red carpet in a moment. So there we all are, with lotus flowers, about to go into the hall for the first stage of the ordination. It probably takes 2 or 3 hours in total, and it's all very well choreographed and photographed. But here we are coming into the hall in white. Then we're standing in front of the Buddha statue. So basically in Denmark they've got a hall very similar to this, with the Buddha statue at the front. So it's a very similar setup in all our temples around Europe and the world. Now we're bowing. Now we've been given our robes by the lay people, but we haven't been ordained as monks yet. We're just in the process. Now we have to do some chanting, though. There's 10 of us in a line, so the first bit of chanting is not too bad, because we do it in a group of 10. So the people who are a little bit not too good on the chanting can get by okay. And now we've become monks, we've changed into our robes, and sort of what would you call the harder bit of the ceremony takes part, where you've got to do this chanting, but in groups of 3. So there's no room for error. So this is looking from behind the Buddha statue, like a Buddha eye view of it. So in the foreground you can see the monks, the senior monks who are doing the ordination. I think that's Lumpy Nicholas on the right. Do you know Lumpy Nicholas? Yep. Yeah, he came over to help. So behind are all the lay supporters, and you can just kind of see the 10 of us facing the camera. I think it's pretty fair to say that everyone there feels like a huge kind of sense of responsibility, because you're doing it for all the lay supporters, and then you're in front of senior monks who may have been monks for like 20 or 30 or 40 years. So it's kind of intimidating as well as a big honour, and you obviously don't want to kind of fluff your lines. So yeah, it's quite a powerful day in many ways, but this only kind of gives you an impression. So that's me and one of my fellow monks just making a sort of symbolic presentation to the head ordination monk, who's on the left. And now we're doing the water pouring ceremony. Have any of you ever done that at the temple? Yeah. Have you been in at lunchtime to offer food? Yeah. You're all welcome to come in, actually, if you want to come at lunchtime sometime, if you're free, and offer food to the monks. We often do this water pouring ceremony where, if we do a generous deed like offering food to the monks, we generate merit, which is a sort of positive mental energy inside us, and you're able to transfer that merit we generally do it to deceased relatives by this water pouring ceremony. So in Buddhist belief in the transference of merit from you by doing a good act to deceased relatives wherever they've gone after they departed here. So that's something you might want to try when you're in the temple sometime if you come in at midday. These have possibly gone a little bit out of chronological order, but here we're already in our robes, but we're being presented with another part of our set of robes by the lay people. There was a lot of presentation of things. We were also presented with our bowls that you go out on alms around with by another kind of row of people, and another row of people presented us with gifts. So there's an opportunity for the Thai and local community to do a lot of acts of generosity and everyone sort of shares in the merit from the monk's ordination, or boon, as Thais call it. So that's partly why it's such an important thing. A great amount of merit is generated on that day, and you feel like you're carrying a lot of responsibility. So we're almost fully fledged monks now. There's Lumpy Nicholas on the left. This is almost the end of the ceremony. You go up in threes, and you're given your bowl, which you kind of sling over your neck. The bowl sort of goes on the back, your arms bowl, and then you've got to do this chanting, which is gruesomely hard the first time we've done it, but it was my third time and it all went smoothly. And now we've done it all, and that's just the photo. So the 10 of us are kind of towards the back, and all the lay people are in the front. And after that, pretty much that happens on a Sunday. Then most of the lay people go home, and you give a big sigh of relief, and then the temple becomes very quiet. Then, so basically, there's just the 10 monks and the staff and the teaching monks, and we spend the second week doing a lot of meditation and learning how to be a monk. Basically, we have to obey 227 rules as a monk. There's obviously not time in roughly a week to teach you all those rules, so you learn the really severe ones that you're not to break. And then there's the robes, which I'm wearing now. They're quite hard to put on, robes. I know the other monks probably make it look pretty easy, but I'm still struggling after a couple of weeks, actually putting my robes on and keeping them neat and tidy. So they're sort of held on by friction, really. They haven't changed much in 2,500 years since the Buddha's time. So when you're a monk, you obviously just wear the robes, and they have to be done you put them on in a very specific way. So the second week is much more relaxed than the first. So your monks and the pressure's off you. So you just do a lot of meditation. You still get up early in the morning, 5:30, meditate, have breakfast and lunch at the same time, and then Lumpy Nicholas and other monks come and give us talks, Dharma talks as they're called, talks about Buddhism and Buddhist subjects. So that's pretty much it. We meditate out in the forest again, and we did a kind of walk. I don't know if you can see, we're holding kind of umbrellas, and we've got our alms bowls slung around us at the back. This is kind of for the camera, but traditionally, and they still actually do it in Thailand, monks would just go walking through the forest. They would carry this kind of umbrella thing. It's actually an umbrella come mosquito net. When you put it up, it folds out like an umbrella, then you've got a mosquito net hanging down. So monks would carry that, and they would carry everything they need, all their worldly requirements in that bag, along with a bowl. So, toothbrush, medicines, everything all crammed into one little thing. So they still do it in Thailand, so they live very, very minimally. And they actually sleep in these umbrella come tents. So at night, they would just put them up and just sit there in meditation and keep the mosquitoes off themselves. And apparently, does anyone recognise this gentleman at the front? He's the abbot of our temple. Anyone met him? Yeah, Lumpy Ronna Pop. Yeah, he told me when he first ordained, which 25 or 30 years ago, I think, he slept in one of those traditional mosquito net come umbrellas. So monks have been doing that for about 2,500 years. But we've moved to a bit of greater comfort. That's why we have the tents these days that you saw in roughly the first slide. But it's still the same sort of idea. It's supposed to be not too comfortable. But Lumpy Ronapop said basically you just kind of, in those things, you either sit there meditating or you kind of like curl up, but you can't let your feet stick out or the mosquitoes will savage you in the night. So that's just us in the forest again. So yeah, that's the end of the slideshow. So the program finished officially on last Sunday, but I decided to come back. I flew back home with Lumpy Nicholas to spend a few days here in London Temple. And tomorrow I'm actually from Manchester. We have a temple up there. I live a couple of miles away, so I'm just going to stay a little while in my home temple. So I just, yes, that's a bit of what the program's about. So it's not so much a Dharma talk, it's just my personal experience. And did I mention before, in normal years we run this once a year in June. So if any of you gentlemen would like to have a go, just have a word with any of the monks here. So if, yeah, I'll just plant the seed of the idea in your minds and let it might come to fruition. But if you want to take your meditation to the next level, have a think about that, doing that sometime. Right. Anyway, that was that. Has anyone got any questions for me or comments? Yeah, fire away.
The proceedings and the ceremony,
Yep.
is that in Thai, Danish, English? How does that?
Actually, it's in a bit of it's in a mix of English and Thai and Pali. Pali's an ancient Indian language very similar to what the Buddha spoke. Yep. So yeah, it's in a mix. The really important chanting is in Pali, but we do some chanting in English. Like before we become monks, we actually sort of ask all our family members and everyone for forgiveness for everything we've done. To if we've offended them in some way before. So that all 10 of us chant that in English, and some of it's in Thai, but mainly in Pali. Yeah. Anything else? Hi. Can anyone go for it? Yeah, as long as you're a male over the age of 20 and you're in good enough health. Yeah, literally anyone who thinks they would like to do it can do it. Yep, pretty much, yeah. Yep, if you know anyone, tell Lumpy Ronapop and send them this way, yeah. Anyone else? Yes? Oh, well, me only till this weekend. I'm nearly finished now. Yep. I never intended to become a full-time monk like the other monks who live here, but I think it's great that we have the chance just to try it out for roughly a fortnight. I don't think there's anywhere else, probably in Europe, where they run such a thing. Yeah, theoretically I could just stay a monk the rest of my life, but I'm actually on my annual leave from work, so I've got the usual trappings of lay life, a job and a house and all that stuff, so yeah, I'll just be going back to that. But it makes you realise that, the full-time professional monks who live here, what they've done, they've given that all up. It's an enormous undertaking when you think about it. I've got a kind of appreciation for what they've done. Just giving up all, job, girlfriend, car, your CD collection, you know, you name it, all that stuff, you know. You just got to just let all that go, and then just take up the Buddha's teaching and just become reliant on the happiness that's generated from within, rather than going out into the world and trying to have external things come in to you through your senses to make you happy. So it's a really total change of attitude and everything. So, you know, I've got quite an appreciation for what the full-time monks do and have gone through. Yep. Anyone else? Oh. Oh yeah, I'll explain that. When we, excuse me, when we start off as wearing white, we just take 10 precepts, and then we ordain as monks. But there isn't time to explain the whole 227 to us. We're just taught the really severe ones that we should, definitely not go anywhere near breaking. But it's impossible in a short time to teach you all the 227. But what will happen is when I go back to my Manchester temple, I'll ask the abbot there to disrobe me. There's just a very quick ceremony that takes about a couple of minutes, just some Pali chanting, and then I'll disrobe, take off my robes, put my white clothes on again, and then I'll just take what's called the 5 precepts, which some of you may be familiar with. So I'll just go back to being a lay Buddhist and following the 5 basic Buddhist rules, and then I'll totally be a lay person again, then, just like everyone else here. Yeah. I won't be a monk at all after I've disrobed. So I kind of differentiate myself between what I call the full-time professional monks who live here, who you've probably met, like Lumpy Nicholas and Lumpy Pissit and Lumpy Ronapop, and myself, I've just gone into this knowing it's just part-time for a fortnight or so. Pardon? Yeah, you could say it's just like a retreat, but like a bit higher power than the average retreat. Yes. Anyone else? Yes. About 10 years. I started going to our local temple, which is about 2 miles from where I live in Manchester. So I was already meditating for quite a long time prior to that, different traditions and practices, maybe like some of you, and then I found the temple and started going. Lumpy Nicholas happened to be there at the time, and I just kind of felt very at home with it, and I like the Thai culture, and Thai people are very, very sort of welcoming and make you feel like you belong. So I kind of got drawn into like the Dhammakaya temple. Yeah, that's how it happened. It just feels right for me, and Then after a while you get a little bit of pressure to go on these ordinations from your abbot. It might happen to some of you. So that's what happened to me. I got like pushed in a little bit into going to Belgium. There you go. That's what happened. Apparently, I don't know actually. Apparently you can keep them after doing 3 ordinations. So I'll see what happens in Manchester if the abbot lets me keep them or not. Does anyone know a gentleman called Elvis who comes here? Yeah, I think he might have kept his robes now because he's done it 3 times. Not sure about that though. Any other questions, folks? Since one or two of you have mentioned retreats, that reminds me, Palais, we have a retreat, don't we, organised by the temple in July. Could you tell me the dates, or tell everyone the dates, please? Was that 8th to 10th of July? Yes. Just speak to Palais or the staff members. They can tell you all about it. So, some of you may have been on retreats and some may not, but they generally last from Friday evening and all of Saturday and right till Sunday afternoon. And you'll probably meditate about 4 times a day and have the chance to offer food to the monks and mingle with lots of Thai people and enjoy Thai culture. And it's a bit like this, but it's less intense. You obviously don't become a monk, you're just totally a lay person. But it's a surprisingly good way to really intensify your meditation over about 48 and a half, 2.5 days basically. You know, you might be surprised how deep your meditation can go just by being in an environment where you meditate 4 times a day and you're away from your worldly distractions and you sort of turn your phone off a bit and you're not watching TV, all that kind of stuff. I really recommend it it's like turbocharging your practice. So I highly recommend you try one of our retreats. In fact, this one coming up in July. You may surprise yourself how good your meditation goes. Right, any further questions? Okay, it's about 8:30. So, yeah, just like to say, thank you everyone for coming to the meditation class at our temple. We really appreciate you coming, and I've enjoyed meditating with you. I hope I'll come down to London sometime and meet some of you again. And I must give thanks to the temple, because they've really made me feel welcome here, and the monks have helped me with my training, which is, generally speaking, takes years. They've done what they can do in a few days. They've been great. So it's been a great opportunity, and they've encouraged me to like doing this meditation, and I've been helping them with scouts coming round in schools. So they've helped me boost my confidence to help teach meditation and Buddhism to local people, which I kind of see as my mission in life, which I do in Manchester as well. So thank you everyone at London, and thank you all for coming tonight and meditating with me.